His voice was smooth as lacquer. "Let Mira take it," Gregory said, not looking at me. "She's more obedient." The room stilled. My pen hovered midair, ink bleeding into the margin. "She's new," I said quietly. "She doesn't know the Tillman account. She'll learn." He finally met my eyes, a clipped smile playing at the corner of his mouth. "Obedience is undervalued in this office. You've become independent." I smiled, just barely. "You say that like it's a flaw." He leaned back in his chair. "It is, Nina. In this climate." Mira sat across from me, flipping through her notepad like she hadn't heard a thing. She had soft posture, smooth skin, a voice that always dipped into deferential. "I'm happy to help," she offered. "If Nina can send me her notes." I turned to her. "You want my notes on an account I spent 7 months cleaning up?" It's no trouble," she said, blinking too fast. Gregory interjected. "It's already been decided. Mira's taking point. You'll stay on strategic." "Of course. Strategic. The invisible realm." I closed my notebook. "All right." Gregory's brows rose. No pushback. I met his gaze. "None. If you trust her with Tillman, that's your call." He studied me for a beat too long. "Glad to see we're aligned." "We always were." I stood. "Until you needed someone quieter." Outside the conference room, the glass walls reflected my face back at me. Composed, unreadable. The elevator doors parted, and Mira fell into step beside me. "I hope this isn't awkward," she said. "It isn't. It's just Gregory asked, and I didn't want to say no." "I understand. He said you're overloaded, that this might be good for you." Of course he did. Silence hung between us until we reached the lobby. She pushed the button for the ground floor. "I really admire you, Nina," she said, too quickly. "That's kind of you." The elevator pinged. I didn't step in. "Good luck with Tillman," I added. She smiled like she meant it. "Thank you." When the doors closed, I exhaled, slowly. Strategically, back at my desk, the sunlight had shifted. My inbox was already lighting up. Gregory moving Mira onto the chain, CCING me as a courtesy. The audit trail was clean. The decision official. More obedient. That wasn't a slip. It was a signal. I picked up my phone and dialed. "Elliot. It's Nina. You still at your desk?" "Yeah, just wrapping up. What's up?" "I need a copy of the Q3 compliance deck. The one with the adjusted timelines for Tillman." A pause. "You mean the restricted one?" "That's the one. I don't think I'm supposed to." "I'm not asking you to send it. Just bring it to me." 5 minutes. Conference be another pause. "Got it." I hung up. 2 minutes later, I was in conference B. Neutral gray walls, frosted glass. My reflection stared back at me in shards. Elliot walked in, clutching a folder. "This could get me written up." "You won't be," I said. "You're following instructions." He handed it over. "Gregory didn't authorize this." "No. But the board did when they approved the July addendum." "You're threading a needle, Nina." "I always do." I opened the folder and scanned the pages. Everything was where it should be except the numbers had changed. Rewritten. Compressed. "They've doctored the risk window," I said. He hesitated. "I didn't see anything." "You don't have to, Nina. I'll take it from here." When he left, I closed the folder and sat still. The fluorescent lights buzzed low above me. I thought of the first time I met Gregory, his silver tongue, the way he'd talked about legacy, loyalty, vision, and how easily he had cut me out. Not because I failed. Not because I was wrong, but because obedience was easier to control than excellence. Fine, let Mira handle the scandal. Let her learn what it means to be disposable. Let him learn what happens when strategy is underestimated. I gathered the papers, smoothed them once, slid them into my bag. Then I left the room, calm and unbothered, because I already knew what I was going to do. You remember the March deal? Gregory leaned against my office door like he always did when he wanted credit for something I'd closed. I kept typing. What about it? I ran into Alan from Redmore this morning. He still talks about how you handled that boardroom ambush. Redmore wasn't an ambush. It was poor planning. He smiled. And you rescued it. Like you always do. I paused. Did you come in here for compliments or revisions? Neither. Just remembering how we started? I turned. You mean when you promised I'd be running my own vertical within a year? His smile didn't fade. Timing shifted. That's one word for it. He walked in uninvited and sat across from me. You were green then. Raw, brilliant, but unpredictable. Unpredictable. You were passionate. Still are. That can be disruptive. And obedience is the antidote. He didn't blink. I never said that. You didn't have to. You said it yesterday. That was about Mira. It was about me. He exhaled. You're spiraling. This isn't you. I'm not spiraling. I'm recalling. Recalling what? How I used to look at you. His voice softened. Nina, I admired you. I thought you were the reason I got this far. You don't think that anymore? No. I stood. I think I got this far despite you. He stood too. Be careful. You're emotional. Don't mistake clarity for emotion. You're angry because Mira's been given an opportunity. That's not betrayal. No, I said. The betrayal was gradual. The meetings I wasn't invited to. The projects rerouted. The silence when I asked why. You're imagining. I'm remembering. I stepped closer. Remember when you asked me to ghostwrite that op-ed for the Times, then published it under your name? I needed the visibility. You needed my language. His voice sharpened. I elevated you. No one even knew your name before I didn't need fame. I needed truth. He stepped back. This is becoming personal. It was always personal. You made it that way the day you called me your secret weapon. He stared at me. You said you liked being invisible. No. I said I didn't mind. You made sure I stayed there. I opened doors for you and closed them when I stepped through too fast. His jaw clenched. You think you're owed something. I'm owed accuracy. Nina, you took my strategy and sold it as your foresight. You used my insights, then painted me as difficult when I disagreed. You wanted brilliance without challenge. So you hired Mira. She's not a threat to you. She's a mirror. You think she's what I used to be. He looked at the floor. You're twisting this. No, I said calmly. I'm correcting the record. He walked to the window, arms crossed. You have no idea how much I protected you. Protected me from what? From board politics, from backlash, from being seen as too aggressive. I didn't ask for that protection. You wouldn't have survived without it. I nodded. And yet, here I am. He turned. What do you want? Nothing, I said. That's the difference now. I don't want anything from you. Silence settled. He adjusted his cuffs. I made you what you are. No, I said. You slowed me down. You polished me, shaped me, kept me manageable. He looked at me, then truly looked. You've changed. No, I said. I just stopped needing your permission. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The first time I noticed, it was the budget review. My invite had been lost. The second time, it was the strategy memo I drafted, reworded and signed by Mira. Gregory said it was a team effort. By the third, I stopped pretending not to see it. Elliot, I said, catching him in the corridor. Walk with me. He adjusted his lanyard like it choked him. Sure. I kept my pace even. Did you notice anything off in the Clearwell account? His throat clicked. I'm not on Clearwell. You are now. He frowned. Since when? Since yesterday. Check your assignments. He pulled out his phone. His steps slowed. That's new. It shouldn't be. We stepped into the side stairwell, away from glass and eyes. Nina, he said, what's going on? I got a call from their crew this morning. He was confused why we double-billed their expense line. I thought Tillman was the only flagged audit. Tillman, Clearwell, and possibly Westbray. Patterns don't lie. People do. Elliot swallowed. You think someone's shifting errors under my accounts? Yes. Why would anyone? I'm not the one they think will roll over. He exhaled. You think Gregory. I think Gregory handed the files to Mira for a reason. He glanced down the stairwell. I can't be involved, Nina. I'm compliance. I have to stay neutral. You're already involved. You just didn't choose it. Silence. He rubbed his jaw. Okay. What do you want? Audit logs. Access trails. Who touched what and when? I'll need to go through the backup system. Then do it. He hesitated. If anyone asks, you're running a standard cross-check. He met my eyes. And if they don't buy that, then they'll buy something worse. He nodded once. I'll message you tonight. By evening, the office had thinned. My screen glowed with untouched tasks I'd been sidelined from. Strategy reassignments. Project transitions. All the polite language of exclusion. My phone buzzed. Elliot. I answered immediately. Talk. I can't send this over email. Can you come to B3? Now. The basement archive room smelled like metal and heat. Elliot stood by the old server terminal, eyes twitching toward the door. He handed me a printed log. 2 days ago, Mira accessed Clearwell at 1:42 a.m. on what machine? Gregory's. My hand tightened. What else? She edited the billing structure, then pushed it under your username through a shadow admin protocol. It's sophisticated and illegal. He nodded. I found the same structure in Tillman's file. Same time window. Same machine. Westbray, not touched yet, but probably next. I read the lines again. How long have you known? He blinked. Today. Don't lie to me. I didn't know details. I heard Gregory mention needing a clean pivot. I didn't ask. You should have. I know. I looked at him. Are you going to report it? His silence was answer enough. I can't lose my job. Nina, you're already on the log trail. He flinched. They won't find me. They will. Eventually. I have rent. A kid. I'm not like you. No, I said. You're not. I'll get you what you need. Just don't drag me into this. I won't drag you. He looked relieved. I'll walk you in. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. I want Mira to lead this. Gregory's voice landed like a dropped glass. Mira blinked. Me? Yes, he said smoothly. It's time you had something real. High stakes. Visible. I didn't speak. I watched him. Watched her. The Clearwell discrepancy. he continued, sliding a folder across the table. Nina's stepping back. Mira's fingers barely touched it. Shouldn't she? No, he said. This is a learning opportunity. We all start somewhere. She turned to me. You're okay with this? I smiled. I don't recall being asked. Gregory chuckled. That's the trust we have here, right? No need for formality, I said. It's just my reputation on the line. Come on, he said lightly. You've got enough wins under your belt. Let someone else carry one. I held his gaze. Is that what this is? A win? His tone cooled. It will be. If Mira handles it well. And if she doesn't, then it's a lesson. For her or for me. He didn't say. The meeting adjourned without a vote. Outside, Mira followed me into the corridor. Nina, don't. I didn't know he'd. You took the file. I thought I was helping. You're not. She stepped in front of me. Why won't you talk to me? I'm talking now. You think I want to replace you? No. I paused. I think you don't know when you're being used. Her face tightened. You think I'm naive. I think you're being offered a knife and told it's a ladder. I didn't ask for any of this, but you're holding it anyway. She looked away. Gregory trusts me. He trusts you to absorb the fallout. I can handle it. I leaned in. Can you? Because I watched him promise the same spotlight to 3 other people before you. Know where they are now? She didn't answer. Exactly, I said. Off camera. Off grid. I'm not them. No, I said. You're still hopeful. She opened the folder. The numbers are a mess. Yes. He said you were too close to it. That you needed space. That's how he frames exile. She held the pages like they burned. This doesn't make sense. Why would he give me something this unstable? I raised an eyebrow. Realization flickered. I should go, she murmured. Yes, I said. You should. She hesitated. Will you help me? No. Why not? Because you didn't ask before you took it. Her lips parted, then closed. I walked away at my desk. I refreshed the project feed. My name had vanished from Clearwell. My login permissions adjusted. I sat in silence. Gregory's office door closed with a soft click behind Mira. The meeting I once would have led. The scandal that wore my name. The silence, perfectly shaped to fit around my absence. And Mira, with her hands full of glass. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. My phone rang at 11:17 p.m. Elliot? His voice was quiet. You free to talk? I am now. I went deeper into the Clearwell file. I sat up. And there's a trail? Clean, but not invisible. Explain. The access logs, there's a pattern. Mira ran to data pulls from Gregory's proxy login. One for Clearwell. One for Tillman. She used his credentials. No. She triggered a remote login from his device, then pushed changes under yours. She falsified my signature line. Yes. How sure are you? To access points cross-verified. Time stamped 1:42 a.m. 3 nights ago. I stood, grabbed my laptop. Why are you telling me this now? I thought it was a glitch. I double-checked. It's not. And Mira. He hesitated. It's possible she didn't know what she was doing. Or it's possible she knew exactly. I don't want to accuse anyone. You're not. I am. Nina, you saw her run that file. You saw the back-end shift. You know what this means. It means someone set you up? No, I said. It means they already did. I opened my screen, searched the system log. Send me the snapshots. I can't send them from here. Where are you? Still at the office. I'll be there in 10. The building was half lit. Elliot waited near the copy room, eyes darting. He handed me a flash drive. Encrypted. Password is your last name. Reversed. All caps. I pocketed it. Did you tell anyone? No. Will you? He shook his head. This wasn't part of my job. But it became your responsibility. I just audit reports, Nina. I don't fight wars. Then don't. Just keep doing what you're doing. Quietly. He looked pale. Gregory will bury me if this gets out. No. He'll use you first. Then bury you after. You think Mira's complicit? I think Mira's afraid. And fear makes people obedient. He nodded slowly. You always see through people. That's why they want me gone. I'm not your enemy. I know. What are you going to do? Not panic. Not yet. You're scarily calm. I have to be. He glanced down the hall. If they find out I gave you this, they won't. And if they do, you'll say you lost it. Left it in the printer room. He gave a strained laugh. That might actually work. It will. He leaned in. Be careful, Nina. I always am. 3 nights. 4 cups of coffee. 26 pages of annotated notes. I laid everything out across my apartment floor: emails, audit time stamps, calendar entries, Slack screenshots. The pieces didn't just align. They moved in rhythm. A pattern engineered to look like coincidence. I called Mira on the 4th night. She answered, groggy. Nina, come by. Now. It's almost midnight. I won't ask twice. 10 minutes later, she was standing in my doorway, hair pulled into a loose bun, wearing a Yale sweatshirt to sizes too big. This better not be a trap, she muttered. No trap, I said. Just truth. She stepped inside. Her eyes went straight to the papers. You've been busy, she said carefully. I like facts. She lingered near the couch. You could have just emailed me. I wanted to see your face when you saw mine. I didn't do anything wrong, didn't you? She flinched. If you're accusing me, I'm showing you. I pointed at a spreadsheet. These are your access logs. I already told you. Stop. I held up a hand. This line right here: Clearwell's master invoice. Pulled at 1:42 a.m. from Gregory's device. Not yours. I used his terminal once. He told me to. And then routed the changes through my credentials. She blinked. I didn't know that's what happened. But it happened. I was just following instructions. Exactly. Her shoulders tensed. He said you'd been sloppy. That you'd overridden safeguards. And you believed him. I trusted him. Then you were the perfect choice. She folded her arms. So what now? You'll report me. I haven't decided. I wasn't trying to hurt you. You were trying to be promoted. Her jaw clenched. You think I'm just a pawn. I think you're a tool. He used you to build his narrative. And you let him. I didn't know the full story. You didn't ask. Mira sat. What do you want from me? The truth. I told you. No. The whole truth. Start from the beginning. She hesitated, then exhaled. 3 weeks ago, Gregory pulled me aside. Said he was worried about the firm's exposure. That some of your calls had been questioned. He asked if I could look over your reports. Quietly. And you didn't think to verify that. I thought it was internal calibration. He framed it like damage control. What else? He gave me access to flagged account Stillman, Clearwell, and one pending. Told me to rewrite summaries for clarity. He never said it was fraud. Did you alter the data? Only summaries. Not figures. But you signed off on them. He said it was a training exercise. I walked over to my laptop, opened the internal compliance thread. You see this? These summaries were sent to the board, under my project tag. She froze. You were used, Mira. But not innocently. I didn't know where it would end. No one ever does. That's why people like Gregory thrive. She looked at me, eyes tight. So why tell me this? Because if you keep protecting him, you'll go down with him. And if I don't, you'll give me a statement, anonymous or not. You'll confirm he handed you those files, that he framed them as my oversight. She stared at the floor. He'll deny it. I don't need his confession. I need yours. Her hands shook slightly. He'll ruin me. He already has. We sat in silence. Then, I'll write it, she said. But I want it framed right. Go on. I want to be clear I was manipulated. You were. And that I didn't fabricate anything. You facilitated what he asked for. That's not the same. To the board it is. I need this job. You won't have one when this is over. Her face crumbled for a moment. She hit it fast. Then I want a copy of the report. For leverage. No. Why not? Because you don't get to negotiate with something you helped bury. Mira stood. You really think you'll win? I don't play to lose. Her voice dropped. He'll spin this. Not this time. She looked at me like she didn't recognize me. You used to be generous. I used to be quiet. She left without another word. I printed her statement the next morning. 4 paragraphs. Signed. Time-stamped. The last line read, I was instructed to manage the narrative, not the numbers. The blueprint was complete. Asterisk, 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 I reserved conference room D, no windows. No cameras. Mira arrived 3 minutes late, clutching her tablet like a shield. You didn't say what this was about. I didn't need to. She sat, composed. If this is about the board report, it's not. Sit down. I am sitting. Good. Then listen. I slid a folder toward her. This is everything. Logs, edits, timestamps. Your trail. Gregory's fingerprints. She didn't open it. You're assuming intent. No. I'm documenting sequence. I didn't know what he was doing. I believe you. At first, she stayed still. What do you want? A choice. Is this blackmail? No. It's clarity. She finally looked at the folder. Where did you get this? Elliot pulled the access trace. Quietly. He's not on your side anymore. I didn't ask him to be. You didn't ask anyone. That's the problem. She exhaled. He said you were under review, that you'd made risky calls, covered data gaps, and you believed that. I didn't know what to believe. You knew enough to stay quiet. I was trying to survive. Then you'll understand why I'm not feeling generous. She shifted. What happens if I walk out of here? You keep pretending until you're the next problem he needs to erase. That's dramatic. No, Mira. It's strategic. I leaned in. You think he'll protect you when this explodes? She didn't answer. You're a buffer, a name on a file, a shield for his decisions. You think that earns loyalty. I've done good work. That won't matter. When the audit hits, they won't see good work. They'll see your signature. Her voice dropped. What are you offering? A statement. From you. Honest. Limited scope. You clarify his role. Your instructions. The context. You don't lie. You don't grandstand. And in return, you get distance. Control. Maybe even your career. She stared at the folder. I need time. No. That's the one thing you don't have. You don't get to pressure me. I'm not pressuring. I'm illuminating. She looked up. You were always like this, weren't you? Like what? Precise. Calculated. Cold. No. I used to believe in merit. And now, I believe in consequences. Her fingers tightened around the folder. He'll deny everything. I expect him to. And if I don't give you the statement, then your name stays where it is. At the center. Silence. Finally, she spoke. If I do this, I want to be quoted carefully. You will be. No interpretation. No spin. Only facts. She nodded. Then you'll have it. By morning, she stood. I watched her walk out, no tears, no panic, just calculation. And something else, resolve, asterisk. I sent the memo at 7:03 a.m. Friday. Subject line. Compliance irregularities and access misuse. Urgent review. Elliot confirmed receipt with a single word. Received. Legal didn't respond. They wouldn't not until they were forced to. The waiting was methodical. I drank coffee without tasting it. I cleared my calendar. I didn't speak unless spoken to. Monday arrived like a held breath. At 8:42 a.m., my badge clicked green, not red. That told me enough. At 9:06, Gregory called an all hands. I watched from the back of the room. I want to address recent questions circulating about data accuracy, he said smoothly. We are conducting an internal review. This is standard procedure. Mira didn't look at me. No one did at 10:15. My phone vibrated. Legal, confidential. You are requested in room for C at 10:30. The room was beige and windowless. Two legal reps sat across from me. Neither introduced themselves. One spoke. Ms. Verlaine, you submitted a memo outlining serious accusations. I submitted evidence. The board has reviewed the timeline. We have questions. I have answers. Did you initiate contact with Ms. Langford regarding her role in the Clearwell audit? Yes. Did you coerce her to submit the affidavit? No. I offered her the opportunity to clarify the record. Did you inform her of potential consequences? I told her the truth. A pause. Ms. Langford's affidavit names Mr. Sloan as the source of instruction. Do you corroborate this? I do. And you're prepared to stand by this if questioned by the board. I requested that question weeks ago. The second counsel glanced at his tablet. You've provided logs, screenshots, access histories. You also attached a printed trail from the compliance server. Yes. How did you obtain it? Internal access. Elliot Radner confirmed its validity. He has not denied it. Then you have your answer. Another pause. This may escalate. I know. You may be asked to testify. I welcome it. They looked at each other. One closed his folder. You'll be contacted by end of day. I stood. Good. By noon, whispers replaced tension. Legal was in Gregory's office. HR followed. The board stayed quiet. But presence lingered, emails time-stamped from directors I'd never spoken to. At 2:47 p.m., Gregory called my extension. I didn't pick up. At 3:05, he stopped by my desk. We need to talk. No, Gregory, I said calmly. We don't. Come in, Gregory said, gesturing like we were still on equal footing. I stepped inside. Door closed. Room quiet. He smiled. You've been busy. I'm thorough. Didn't peg you for the scorched earth type. I'm not. I prefer precision. He poured coffee. You want some? No. He sipped. Look, This, whatever this is, it doesn't need to get ugly. It already is. He set the cup down. You and I, we've built something. Years of work. Trust. I don't want to throw that away over misunderstandings. Misunderstandings. Pressure makes people paranoid, and fraud makes people accountable. He sat behind his desk. You really think the board's going to choose you over me? I don't need them to choose. I need them to read. He leaned forward. You're burning your own future. You know that. No, I said. I'm writing a new one. His voice dropped. You want power? I can still give you that. I've already taken it. You're not as clean as you think, Nina. Neither are you. But I never pretended otherwise. He stood. You won't win this. I already have. Because of a few logs and a scared analyst. Because of your signature. On the ethics policy. Clause 7. 4. Misuse of internal systems for reputational shielding is grounds for termination. He stilled. You wrote that clause, I said. Remember. I'll counter it. You won't get the chance. I built this place. And now you'll leave it. He walked to the window. You think they'll thank you? I don't care. You'll be labeled difficult. I've been called worse. He turned. You're calm. That scares me. Good. He stepped closer. You really think you're untouchable? No, I said. I just know where the blade lands. He said nothing. I turned to leave. Nina. I paused. You should have just stayed obedient. I looked back. You should have picked someone dumber. Asterisk, 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 effective immediately. Gregory Sloan will be transitioning out of his role as CEO. The HR rep said, reading from a statement like it was weather, no tremor, no eye contact. An interim leadership committee will be announced this week. I watched from the back of the room. The air was heavy with controlled breathing. A few hands shifted to phones. No one typed. We thank Gregory for his years of leadership and wish him well in his next chapter. That was it. No Q&A. No applause or clicked off the mic and walked out. Dana leaned toward me in the elevator. So that's what transition means now. I said nothing in the cafeteria. No one sat at Gregory's usual table. The framed photo of the original leadership team was missing. Mira's desk was empty. No plant. No chair. Her badge access revoked quietly over the weekend. She left a one-line email. Taking a leave. No timeline. No one replied. Brenda from finance cornered me by the copier. Was it true? You'd have to ask legal. They won't talk. Then maybe that's your answer. She nodded, half smiling. Still, you came out clean. I looked at her. I didn't come out clean. I came out documented. Desks around mine grew quieter. Polite. Careful. I was CC'd on everything now. Every deck. Every revision. People triple-checked before mentioning my name at 3 p.m. Someone had placed a cup of espresso on my desk. No note. Just heat and precision. At 5:12, I got a ping from HR. Subject: Leadership realignment. Input request. Eddie closed the email behind me. Printers hummed. Keys tapped. Feet shuffled. The rhythm of recalibration. I didn't speak. I didn't need to. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The call came on a Wednesday. Hi, this is Elena Hughes from Alder and Cole. Do you have a minute? I paused. I do. I came across your profile through a quiet referral. They said you're efficient, composed, and dangerously underutilized. Sounds like a fair summary. We're building a new division. Strategy, ethics, Systems accountability. We're not looking for obedient. Good. I'm not offering that. She laughed. Do you want to hear more? I'm listening. Hybrid role. Cross-coastal team. Foundational input. Not just execution. And your name on everything you touch. No ghost work. None. Not even in the margins. I stood, looked out the window. When would it start? Up to you. We're hiring fast but with precision. You'd have autonomy, backing, room to speak, to lead. I walked to my desk, ran a hand over the corner Gregory used to perch on when he wanted to remind me who it belonged to. I'm interested, I said. I hoped you would be. I'll need to see the architecture, the reporting line. You'd write it. And the compensation? Uncapped. I smiled. Now you're just flattering me. I don't flatter. I build. So do I. Silence stretched. Do you want to come in? She asked. Not yet. Why? I'm still writing my exit. You're not staying? No. Even now that he's gone. I don't want his seat. Then what do you want? My name. Unbound. Then, let's talk again. Soon. I'll call you. I ended the call. Outside. The city hummed. And somewhere, something was already beginning. Asterisk. Sometimes I think about Gregory not with anger. Not anymore. I think about the way he smiled when he lied. The way he dressed betrayal in mentorship. Turned proximity into control, and Mira wide-eyed, calculating, terrified. I wonder if she ever understood what it cost to be favored by men like him. Systems reward silence, compliance. They punish brilliance when it speaks too clearly. I learned that early, but I didn't forget how to wait. Nina, Elliot's voice, months later. Just saw the article. You build something, huh? I'm building. You still keep folders on people? Only the ones who underestimate me. He laughed. Well, you're not quiet anymore. I was never quiet. Just strategic. He paused. You don't miss it. No. Not the office. Not the glass-walled rooms. Not the way I had to shrink to fit. You look lighter. He said. I am. After we hung up, I sat at my new desk, my name etched on the door. Not buried in the credits, outside. The world kept spinning. Unaware, unconcerned, and yet, inside, everything was finally still.